Right here? Mr. President, real quickly, win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? And there has been rioting in Louisville, there's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else. Go ahead.
Mr. President, the second question is...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Today, Johnson & Johnson announced that their vaccine candidate has reached the final stage of clinical trials. This is record time. This is the fourth vaccine candidate in the United States to reach the final stage of trials. So we have 4 candidates already at a very late date, late being a very positive word in this case. Earlier this year, Johnson & Johnson anticipated that they would reach phase 1 trials by September, but due to our support under Operation Warp Speed and to some of the incredible scientists involved, they've reached phase 3 trials by September, far ahead of schedule. We encourage Americans to enroll in the vaccine trial. It's not only interesting, it'll be a terrific thing for our country. We encourage everybody to enroll, as many people as we can. Today, my administration announced that we are awarding $200 million of CARES Act funding to all 50 states to prepare to distribute the vaccine to high-risk residents, and we want to do that the instant it is approved, not the following day, but the following moment. And so we're going to be doing that, and we'll be distributing, getting it ready, because we have some great vaccines going to be coming out through Operation Warp Speed. We also continue to accelerate life-saving therapies. We're seeing promising results that are monoclonal antibody treatments, which help the immune system fight the virus and help very significantly, we're finding, can reduce hospitalizations now by more than 70%. By cutting red tape and unleashing America's medical genius, we've reduced the fatality rate 85% since April. For individuals under 50, they have a 99.98% rate of survival from the China virus. That's a number that's been really increasing substantially with time. As children go back to school, we're encouraged that early research shows only a small degree of spread. Brown University conducted a study of more than 550 schools across 46 states and found that only 0.076% of students had confirmed cases of the virus. That's a tiny percentage. And only 0.15% of teachers had confirmed cases. Patients coming to the emergency room due to the virus is down to only 1.6% of all emergency room visits, the lowest since the pandemic began. 1.6% emergency room visits. As far as protecting the vulnerable is concerned, we provided over $21 billion to our nursing homes, and we are really focused on the nursing homes, everybody, including our governors. We have governors are working very closely with the task force and with the vice president and everybody involved. We've sent rapid testing devices to nearly 14,000 certified nursing homes in the country. This week, we're sending hundreds of thousands of additional rapid tests to nursing homes to ensure they can test staff regularly. And the staff now is being tested on a very, very powerful and on a regular basis, but very strongly at the finest level, the highest level, and the best tests. We're encouraged that the number of Americans getting the flu vaccine is increasing by roughly 50% compared to last year. It's substantially up. The flu, when it's mixed with COVID or China virus, is going to be very interesting to see what happens, but that can drive numbers and we just don't know what that will be yet, but you'll have flu numbers and you'll have some COVID numbers. I think we're rounding the turn very much. You see what's happening in Europe, however, they have a very big spike. Countries that we thought were doing well aren't doing well. They had some very big spikes, a very big surge. Months ago, we increased our nation's procurement of the flu vaccine by 66%, and we ask Americans to go get their annual flu shot as early as possible. It's possible, I would imagine, Scott, that the flu can get mixed up with the virus, and people can think it's the virus when actually it's another flu season coming on. And I don't know. I hope they can keep them separate. Can they keep them separate?
We hope so.
I doubt they will. It's going to be a very interesting time. But we have a flu season coming up. We've had some flu seasons which are really massive over the years, over many years, and we have some that are much less so. But it's still significant, so I hope they can separate them because it's pretty close. In the past 4 months, we've created 10.6 million jobs. We cut unemployment rate nearly in half. The unemployment rate is cut nearly in half. Larry Kudlow is here. He'll be discussing that in a little while. Retail sales are up 121%. That's far above what we thought. Manufacturing is up 61%. That's also above our schedule, and our schedule is a heavy schedule. Automobile production is up sixfold. Home builders' sentiment is at the highest level in history. That's an amazing statement, Larry, the highest level in history. That means people are thinking good thoughts. Home sales are at the highest level in nearly 15 years. Small business optimism is higher than any time under the last administration, substantially higher. Small business optimism higher than at any time over the last, more than the last administration. Today, I was proud to award 9 companies and organizations with the first ever Pledge to America's Workers Presidential Award. This award recognizes outstanding training programs that are giving Americans the skills to hone a trade and earn a great living. Great people. Over 400 companies have competed and committed to 16 million training opportunities for the American worker. And it's really been amazing. We've created the fastest economic recovery in American history. You are witnessing it. You're part of it. Our approach is pro-science. Biden's approach is anti-science. If you look, I don't think they know what their approach is, although a lot of it's copied from what we've done. Biden opposed the China travel ban and the Europe travel ban. And the strategy that they have is just never-ending lockdowns. We're not locking down. We're actually growing at a rate that we've never experienced before. But they're talking about if you have a question, just lock it down. We're not doing that. And you can't do that. Our plan will crush the virus. And actually, Biden's plan will crush America if you think about it. You can't lock down. Again, we're growing at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Our plan is unleashing a rapid recovery. Our opponent's plan would hurt America very badly, send us into a depression. And with all of that being said, we are going to be having a very exciting Saturday at 5 o'clock in the Rose Garden, where I'll be putting forth my nominee for Supreme Court Justice. And I think it will be a great nominee, a brilliant nominee. As you know, it's a woman. We brought it down to 5 women. It's time for a woman to be chosen with everything that's happened.